All my family.
Driver the number 17, your winner in mini bump to pass, Blaine Muma.
Well, mini bump to pass in the books. We'll go back to some circle tracking, but we'll hit the 3/8s here for the first time, the 3/8 circle track, with the all-ply roofing legends coming up. 22-car field, 30 laps. Your lineup looks like this. Joe Decker's got the pole. He drives the 86 car out of Duval and sponsored by Lewis Maine to his outside. Shane Solwin in car number 4 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Mr. Dizzy Motorsports. Row number 2 is Jaden Luce. It's the 19 car out of Issaquah, sponsored by Mom and Dad. And outside row number 2, the 11 of Danny Arnold out of Puyallup, sponsored by Northern Environmental.
Starting 5th, you see the 68 of Kaylee Decker out of Duval, sponsored by Lewis and Maine. Her outside, 15D Davis Jacobson's out of Wilkinson, sponsored by the Truck Stop. Next row, 27 Dakota Gruchal out of Snohomish, sponsored by Apex Home Services. Then you got the 40 car, sponsored by Mountain Equipment. That's Samantha Schwartz out of Mercer Island.
Inside row number 5 is Brayton Wager out of Camino Island, the Dirt and Cheap Sewer 30B to his outside, the 13 of Jeremiah Johnson from Linwood, sponsored by LB Motorsports. Row behind them, the 20 of Damian Harris out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Flowmaster Gutters to his outside, the 11M of Rick McNeil from Bellevue, sponsored by Optimus Construction.
Then making his return to Legend Racing, that is the 33 of Kyle Lang out of Snohomish, Washington, sponsored by Phillips Law Firm. His outside, 76C Josh Vlock out of Edmonds. Next row, we got the 10 of Jeff Holden, sponsored by Weather Right Roofing. His outside, it's the 42A Piper Alton out of Port Angeles, sponsored by Mom, Dad, Aunt, and Uncle.
The next row behind them is the 86X of Jeff Muller out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Thermotech. The 55 of Bello Luce outside of him from Issaquah. Ian Humphreys is the 55 out of Renton, Masonator Racing car. And Grayson Miller is the 21 out of Puyallup, sponsored by Veterans Roofing.
Final row, you got the 29G of Brian Grant, sponsored by Unknown Tattoo out of Mulby. And final spot on the grid is the 9 car Adriana Camp out of Monroe, sponsored by the Legal Umbrella, as we get ready for some legend action. First time, like you said, on the 3/8 this weekend, as it is going to get exciting here really quick with this many legend cars on track.
22 cars for 30 laps around. This should be interesting, as they are usually tightly packed. These are fast little twitchy cars, so little mistakes get exacerbated, especially on the 3/8 mile, and especially with a very big field. Joe Decker, Shane Solwin down the front row, and the green is out. We're underway.
Going 3 wide early in this one. It's a very wide track, so you can do 3 wide a lot, but you still have to try to be a little bit patient as we ride on board with the 19 of Jaden Luce.
So Luce trailing and following Decker here in the early going. It's Decker, Luce, and Solwin. Jaden making the bid to the bottom and tries to make the pass out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, wheel to wheel and side by side into 3. And Luce now has your lead 2 laps into this. Our segment and our show brought to you by Granite Construction, proud sponsor of our Super Sprint Car Series, a world leader in construction industry. Granite Construction, an award-winning company, a great place to work. Looking for a career change? Find your dream job today at graniteconstruction.com.
As we get an up-close look here on the battle for second now, Shane Solwin in that blue number 4 car trying to take over that second spot from Decker. Going to dive it in deep into turn number 1, able to make that stick here early in the race, as there's got a lot of fast cars coming behind him as he wanted to get around that 86 car early of Joe Decker, as he able to do so. And now, as clear sailing, can kind of calm down for a little bit and just put together some good laps and try to hunt down that 19 of Jaden Luce. As we look right here, the battle for third is tightly packed up, and they are racing hard, nose to tail, as we see the 11 now trying to advance forward. That's the 11 of Danny Arnold.
Arnold having a really good run here as he's right up on the back of Decker coming off the corner at high speeds. Decker, you see him, he sails it hard into the corner. This is the first time he hadn't really pushed out wide coming out of turn number 2, as he's trying to hang on to third. Arnold in behind him, Wager in the 5th spot, as things awfully tight 3 through 6 coming off the turn.
Yeah, really tight racing here. It's like we talked about, always such great racing there. As you see, Braden Wager dive down to the inside, Dakota Gruchala back there for pass for about 6th or 7th right now, as these cars are, they put on such a good show. They're so tightly packed together, such great racing. As there you see the 40 is Sam Schwartz trying to get to the inside there, Dakota Gruchala, as trying to follow tire tracks of Braden Wager down there in turn number 1.
Wager looking for space around. Caution flag is out on the racetrack for the 29, Brian Grant, former street stock driver, if I remember right, as he's around on the back straightaway. And Let's get a look at how it happened from the Ian Humphreys cam. How about from Camp? And oh yeah, Camp's got a real good view of Grant getting sideways. So with that, we're going to take a commercial break. We will come back. We've got more of the All-Ply Roofing Legends coming up next as you're tuned to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11.
You grew up loving cars. We're here to help you love the drive. Tire Pros.
It's Champion Windows Anniversary Sale, and we're gifting the presents to you with 40% off Comfort 365 windows. Now's the time to upgrade your old windows that are driving up your energy bills. For over 72 years, Champion has built and installed high-quality windows for our customers, all with a lifetime warranty. With so many styles, colors, and options to choose from, you'll be loving your home all over again. Champion's 40% off Anniversary Sale won't last long. Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free estimate online now.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this. Come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
We are 7 laps into the All-Ply Roofing Legends main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Kyler Hope. Of course, Home Track Heroes brought to you week in and week out by All-Ply Roofing. Huge thanks to them. They've been such a gigantic supporter of the show this year. Wouldn't be able to do it without them. Kyler, 7 eventful laps so far. Already seen a lean change, and we have seen a lot of bumpered up racing early on in this.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've seen drivers already making great strides forward. Braden Weger in the 30B car, definitely a car to keep your eye on. The 33 of Kyle Lang making his return to Legends. Going to want to keep your eye on him as well as they work their way through this pack. Is a great launch there from the 19-year race leader Jaden Luce, as Chainsaw was going to squeeze his way down to the inside, hang on to that second spot, and let everyone else battle out behind them.
Danny Arnold strung up on the high groove down low. Joe Decker, they're wheel to wheel for position number 3 as they rock it down the front straightaway. And you can see that outside line doing a really good job of hanging tough with the inside line. We're side-by-side racing through a lot of this pack.
Yeah, Legends put on such a great show here. One of the bigger tracks you'll see Legends race out across the country, very high speed, and they do a great job putting on a good show here at Evergreen Speedway on the 3/8 miles. We ride on board with the 27 Dakota Grichal. That's the purple and gray car there on the left of your screen. Working hard on the outside, trying to get forward past Braden Weger. She's going to fall in line right here for now. Nope, going to stick to the outside still.
Well, watch and see if Dakota can make the move. We'll tell you the Monroe Grocery Outlet, your locally owned neighborhood grocery store. They offer name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more at 40 to 70% less than the traditional grocery stores. See Terry and Linda at the Monroe Grocery Outlet.
And we saw Dakota be able to drop in line there behind Braden Weger. That's a car I'd want to follow if I was out there running these Legend cars. Braden always so fast and really, really patient driver, knows when to make the right move as he looks to the inside right there. Decker trying to take over about the 5th or 6th spot as he's got Davis Jacobson just not far in front of him inside with the 15.
Yeah, Jacobson's been solid, been up in that top 5 for a lot of the race, just cutting his laps. Now he's going to have Weger, who has a feature win on the season, under his belt, coming up from behind him to try to crack his way into that top 5. Weger was your points leader coming into racing action. Him and Luce have been up near the top of the standings all year long as we've got another caution flag.
Oh, 29 again, Brian Grant. Tough day. These Legends, they're tough to drive. Maybe got a little bit loose there on the entrance there into turn number 1. It's kind of where the transition of the track is, so really easy for the weight shift to change, and you just get a little bit loose and go around from the drone way on the other side of the track.
Yeah, there's that good-looking Elevate Racing Media drone shot. Says Ian Humphreys from the back bumper. We've seen a couple of spins from the back bumpers of Ian Humphreys here so far. So chance for the drivers to settle down, catch their breath, reassess. They're going to double them up once again here as we have got 12 in and 18 to go. lot of laps left. Jaden Luce out in front. Solon in the 2 spot. Arnold and Decker will resume their battle for 3rd.
Yeah, and that's going to put Braden Weiger on the outside here. So last few restarts he's been on the inside. Be interesting to see what he's able to do with the outside momentum. Maybe stick it in there 3 wide with 18 laps to go, almost halfway. Got to start pushing the button a little bit and not let these fast cars get out front and check away.
And for those drivers who are running an even number of driving spots, this 2x2 restart a huge advantage for them. You know, it's relatively tough to get alongside somebody here in this Legend division, so you've given them a lot of free track space. Now it's up to them to make it count. As once again, down the front straightaway, Luce and Solon. And we will see Solon check up just enough to get down into the low groove and secure that 2nd spot. He hasn't really carried the outside in that corner very far to challenge Luce. Seems like he's more than happy to try to pull it down and run him down from 2nd.
Yeah, I think he knows there might be another caution or two. I think that's the 11 of Rick McNeil going around, but I think he's trying to be a little more cautious and trying to bide out his time and not show his hand too early. As the 53s involved, 13 as well. So a couple cars getting collected. Doesn't look like too big of damage there, as it looks like it was the 11 of Rick McNeil. A little bit of contact there with the 10 of Jeff Holden, and they all get stacked up. Do a fairly good job not to tear anything up too bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Holden got through that without tearing that car up at all. He just slowed her down, snuck her through as the right rear of McNeil came across his left. And we see about 4 other 5 cars involved. Here's from Humphrey's point of view. We see a lot of action from the Humphrey's GoPros and saved himself a lot of damage. Here's Holden, the former TA2 champion, as
just that tire contact sent the 11 around there. Tough break. Is some cars on the inside there. Looks like that was V-Lock, pretty heavy contact. I think he might have got the worst of it. That gray car down on the inside, so tough look there. Here's Adriana Camp. As you see, I think that's V-Lock there in the gray car right in front of him. Yep, one car goes around. They get hooked together. Oh, yeah. Oh, airborne right there. That's never fun.
Bella Luce got a big portion of that wreck as well. So 5-6 cars involved. That'll thin out the back of the field just a little bit, and didn't get a whole lot of time in. So still, half this race to go for the leaders to come out and get her all decided. Still 2x2 again, and it's about round 4 of Luce versus Solon in the front row. But again, we've seen this play out enough. If you're Danny Arnold or Joe Decker, you kind of have an idea. If you can stick on the back bumper of Jaden Luce here, Shane Solon's not going to have a place to pull that car down into, and you're going to force him to run the outside longer than it appears he wants to.
Exactly, yeah. We'll see if the young Danny Arnold in that 11 car 2nd row inside is able to get a little bit better of a launch here. He's had a few practice runs now, so you see he's able to stick to that back bumper of Jaden Luce and try to follow him through and take over that 2nd spot. He's going to ride on board with Braden Weiger here. As, yep, right there, huge jump there from the 11 of Danny Arnold, able to stick to the inside of Shane Solomon, just like you said. He's going to look at a great chance coming off turn number 2 for that 2nd spot.
Danny Arnold, he knew the playbook. He's executing it pretty well here. Solomon forced to carry the middle. He's got some speed coming off the turn. Let's see if he can stick with it. Nope, he's going to fade in and back and look to cross underneath, going into the first turn. Can't get under there, and it is Arnold in position 2.
And look who's in 4th. That's right there on your screen, the 15, Davis Jacobson. He has impressed me so much over the years here at Evergreen Speedway, and he's just one of those drivers that's learned to lies. Oh, we got contact with the race leaders, into the wall hard. That's the 19, and upside down goes the 11 of Danny Arnold. Just giving him such high praise, and the announcer's curse is going to take out your top 2 in a very scary wreck here on the front straightaway at Evergreen Speedway.
Speedway officials down to check on the 11 of Arnold and Luce, who had led every lap of this one together. Let's watch it again coming off the corner, and Jaden pushed wide. Arnold saw his shot, and unfortunately for both your 1st and 2nd place drivers, there it is.
That is a vicious hit by the 19 of Luce, and like you said, just 19 got a little bit loose off the corner here. You might be able to see it, just wiggles right there, and yeah, tough break there. That's such a hard hit. That's one of the toughest hits you'll see in a Legend car.
The car upside down gets the attention because, hey, cars are not supposed to be upside down. However, it was Luce really pummeling that wall, something serious. Let's watch from a little bit further behind. Oh, gosh.
Strong hit, gets toppled over right there. Yeah, that's never what you want to see from a competitor's point of view.
And I'll say this, it's one of these things on a wreck like this. Watch the car when it comes to a stop. You can see Arnold's car held together pretty well. The front end of Luce, though, they have...
Here we go.
Yeah, so watch the front end of this car crumple as he comes off. Started getting loose. There's your contact. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you see it absorbed a lot of the impact there, which is going to help the driver. Tough look there. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Well, and from what I'm told, you can clip a Legend. So, front clip a Legend, that should be back up there.
Slow-mo right there. All 4 tires off the ground.
Wow.
Great job by the rest of the field to avoid the 19 spin back in front right there.
Okay, so one more time. Here's from Luce's perspective. Slow down the impact into the wall. That makes me sore just watching it.
That is a vicious hit, to say the least. There you see both drivers out. They're talking. They're smiling a little bit. That's got to be a tough break there. Seeing your cars like that, they shake hands there. I mean, no hard feelings, awesome. Like you said. I mean, just a racing deal. There was no contact from behind. Just you saw Jaden there get a little bit loose, and yeah, it's just tough when you're battling for the lead like that.
You know, the number one thing on any race car is that the driver gets out and walks away under his own power, right? For everything. Cars and parts are replaceable, people are not. So that's the best thing you can watch come from that. And a sign of sportsmanship between the two. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why we stress safety equipment so much on the show, and seeing proper safety equipment and how well some of these cars are built is because you never know when something like that could happen here.
So Shane Solwin gets the lead. Kaylee Decker now sits second. Davis Jacobson third. It was Samantha Schwartz really coming through the field on that last restart. She's up in fourth on this restart with Gruchala and Wager. They're in row 4. In row 3, is that McNeil? It is.
Kyle Lang.
Kyle Lang in the 33.
Who are on board with on the right-hand side, thanks to Brandy Hood Promotions, is, yeah, Kyle Lang, I think he's in a Rick McNeil car, because that looks very similar to what Rick drives.
It's just very much not a 33 number, which is confusing me. So be it. All right, out in front, Solwin down in the bottom. You see him push wide off the corner, and secures the lead. Now Jacobson burying it in down on the bottom as he's looking for second, trying to shuffle Decker backwards. Davis Jacobson, like you said, has been having a great number. Okay, now it looks more like a 33. Thank you, Kyler.
You just had to zoom in a little bit for us.
Right. Zoom out. Enemy of all race car announcers. As down the front straightaway, Solwin, Jacobson, now Schwartz for third. Yeah, looks like she may have her coming off the turn.
Yeah, another driver doing a great job tonight is Gruchala there. Been battling really hard in that 27 car just to the right of the frame here. Been stuck on the outside majority of these restarts. Just has not had a place to get down, but doing a great job hanging here with some of the top drivers here on Legend Series. Like you said, championship points leader right in front of her.
You want to talk about a guy who's hating these restarts? It seems like Wager is getting the short end of the stick on nearly every one. He wants to see this race get out and stay green for a while. He almost has a chance to go 2 for 1 here as Lang pushed up just enough. It's going to force Decker out of the way. Wager cannot quite get to the inside of Lang to make another pass.
Yeah, and Gruchala is all over the back bumper of that 30B car, so Gruchala doing a great job moving her way forward and trying to stay right there with one of the fastest guys on the field of Braden Wager. It is tight battle right here. You see Damian Harris there in the 20 car, second year out, I think, in the Legend, and he's doing a great job there in the white 20, keeping everything nice and clean right there. He's got a side-by-side Decker battle right in front of him.
If I remember seeing it right, Harris is still short of 14 years old. I believe he's a 13-year-old out there. He's one of the youngest drivers as he shows the right front to the inside of Kaylee Decker's black and green 60 car. And Damian in the white number 20 will make the pass. We're watching ahead, and there's the move by Wager to the inside of Lang. Side by side through the apex of the turn and coming off the bottom of turn number 2. Finally, Braden Wager starting to build some momentum with an extended green flag run here.
Yeah, Gruchala getting in the back of Kyle Lang there, trying to get it a little bit bumped, push him out wide of the line so she can stick to the inside. Just not quite the luck right there, as now we look back up with your top 3. Samantha Schwartz trying to battle and take over the race lead from Shane Solwin in the 4.
Samantha looking for win number 1 here in the All-Ply Roofing Legends. Sneaking around the back. Solwin's got feature wins here on the year, not just in the Legends, but many-time feature winner at Evergreen Speedway. He's doing a good job playing some defense. Schwartz trying to figure it out. We go in car with Wager, a couple of spots back and looking to pick his way forward.
Yeah, and I think Sam Schwartz was one of the drivers a few years ago who ended up on her lid as well in the Legend car going down the back straightaway during the fair. So she's definitely learning a lot, coming a long ways. Doesn't want to see drivers like she just saw get upside down. She's been in that position before, and now she's trying to battle for the race win here around Shane Solwin. One of the few veterans in the field. This is a field of youngsters right now. He's being swarmed by him.
Well, take a look, too. Wager's actually able to drive that car a half groove lower than most of the rest of the field right now. You see him doing that and making the pass. He is down low, and Schwartz opens it up just enough off of 2. Wager not enough speed to get there. They're all stacked up on the bottom, but Wager kind of making his way through with 6 to go. What can he do?
Yeah, I think Shane Solomon has more starts than the 5 kids behind him combined.
I would agree. It's Wager for second. Schwartz stuck in the high groove. Brayton's got the right front to the left rear. He's not quite up to the numbers yet. As Samantha trying to make it difficult on him, not leaving him a lot of space, but just enough for him to get in there with 5 to go. Make it 4 as they cross the line, and a 3-car duo for the lead.
Sam is doing such a great job on the outside there, not giving Braden the room that he wants to be able to drift up and outside and get the ideal line that he wants in these corners and coming down the straightaway. She's doing a great job kind of pinching him down, keeping him a little bit lower, not letting him get the throttle as much as he wants, but I think as we got the brief line down the front stretch, that's going to be a little bit shy for these drivers, but Sam's doing such a great job carrying that outside momentum. It's so hard to do here at Evergreen Speedway, and she's doing a phenomenal job there on the outside.
Make it a 3-car trio for the lead, not a duo. That was abundantly stupid, I think. Solomon down the straightaway. Wager in front of Schwartz, down to the low side, going into 1. Shows the wheel. Wow, all the way under the white line, but they're side by side down the back straightaway.
I think I saw the 27 possibly get spun around. Hopefully he'll keep it going. More contact there between your top 2. Shane really trying to pinch the 30 car down as he's going to get loose there, coming to the white flag. As now we see Sam trying to follow the tire tracks through. Shane trying to pinch her as well. More contact between them, as that's going to put Shane outside of a transfer spot, or outside of a podium spot, I mean, as he's going to dive it in deep there, trying to stick it around. David Jacobson going through to second. Great finish for him. Braden Wager, your race winner. Wow, what a finish. Sam Schwartz rounds out the podium. What a phenomenal top 3 right there, as Braden Wager shows why he's a points leader and was able to slide his way through. I don't think Shane really did himself any favors trying to pinch him down, as he just got loose and shot the track there, but great racing here in the Legends division.
Wow, it got physical. A lot of those
it still gets physical.
Hello.
Look to your right, that's your race leader spun around.
Okay, and that is the 4 of Shane Solomon over there.
Well, if
Hey,
you put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, you know what? We have some awesome Seattle 11 cameras, and let's see it. Let's watch and
So
see what
there's your
happens.
race winner, and Shane just comes and, oh wow, that's heavy contact there between them 2.
Can't quite say that's incidental, can you?
Now here's Braden on the cooldown lap.
Yep. As
He's got his hands off the wheel too, and that's, oh wow, that's so dangerous when his hands are off the wheel like that. Oh
has
wow.
to gather it back together. Quickly pops it into gear, comes up.
Wow, such great job there by Braden to handle that so well. I mean, he could have done a lot of things there, and he's going to go through and just celebrate and ignore him and do some donuts. Why not, Braden? You deserve it, man. Great race.
Well, this finish was fascinating. A lot of spots changed hands in a big hurry. We've got to take a break. When we come back from break, we will hear from your top 3. Podium's coming up after the commercial break.